And I have on my screen here opened up the web application of Microsoft Teams. As you can see here in the top of the UI, we have built this 360 app, which is shown as a tab right here. This app works perfectly fine, both in the web application of Teams, which I am running right here, but it also works just as well in the desktop application of Teams. So this tab is located here on the top of the UI, and it's only accessible to 360 users. So this means that if you are collaborating with external users, they will not be able to see the 360 tab right here. So, but what we have done is that we have the original files tab right here, where I guess you all, most of you recognize the UI. And if I move over to the 360 tab, you can instantly see that we have tried to follow the look and feel of the Teams as much as we can, so that moving between these two tabs will be as seamless as possible. So what we have here is a grid which we have built, where you can see the columns as the title of the folders or files, when they were modified at the latest time, and who did it. Here we're starting to see the information which is connected to 360. So if I connect something to a case, I will get a link to the case. And the same goes for the document card, being able to also view the document status, and then an archive status. I will go through this more in detail later on, but I also want to mention that the original Files tab in Teams, this is where you are continuing to work with the files. So this is from here that you're making all your edits. And this is the 360 tab. This is where you're viewing metadata connected to the files, as it is in 360, and also the status. But what we can see here is that I have a folder, the forgotten folder of 2020. And if I navigate to it, I can see that it contains two files right here, Culture Festival of 2020, and also the summary of the festival. What I will do right now is just to easily archive these to 360. And you see these at this time buttons here, which are not enabled, but when I mark it, it becomes possible to click. So if I mark these two files at this moment and I press Archive to 360, a panel opens to the right. And since I chose to mark two files, I get the question right away if I want these to be one single document card, or if the files should be on separate document cards. I will choose to put both of these files to to one document card, and then also decide to connect this to an existing case, which I already have for the Culture Festival. So here in the drop-down, I can see the history list of the cases that I've recently visited. And here I have the Culture Festival for 2020. But it's also possible to search just as you would do in 360 in this box. And here I'm also able to set a title for the document card. At this point, it takes a default title of the first file, but it's of course possible for me to change that if I want to do so. So now I'm creating one single document card. I'm connecting it to an existing case, and then also setting the document title. And then I press Save to 360. So, and now that that is loaded, we can see that we have gotten a connection to the case, and it's a link, so I can just easily open it in 360. And then we also have a link to the document card. And we can also see that the status has updated, so we can easily see when we hover over that this has been archived to 360. Okay, so Thomas, do you have the possibility to just do the last quality check on these files and change the document status to officially recorded when you're done?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Perfect. Okay, In the meantime, I will continue over to the original files tab in Teams. I want to upload more files, which I have related to the hiring of the summer personnel. So here I have some files. I will just mark all of these and drop it into the Files tab. I can now see that it's uploading 6 items, and they're now located here in Lisa's channel. So if I navigate back to the 360 tab, I can see that they have mirrored over the files, and also that none of them are archived in 360 yet. So what I want to do is, okay, now I see that I still have 2 files connected to the Culture Festival of 2020. So I have a feeling that I might be running into more of these files as I work along here with Teams. So I'm going to make this really simple for myself and mark one of the folders here. And as the difference you see when I mark a file, I get to archive it. When I mark this folder, I can set a case connection to a folder, because we have learned that our customers really like to work with cases as a folder. So here I can say that the forgotten folder 2020 will be connected to a certain case. And I want to connect it to the case Culture Festival 2020 and then save it to 360. So here we see now that we on a folder level have a connection to a case. So now I can just take the 2 files which I had, the budget of Culture Festival and also what food they were going to eat. I can just go back to the Files tab, mark this, and move it into the Forgotten 2020 folder. So I move it right here, and going back to the 360 tab, it's mirrored also right away. So now when I open the Forgotten 2020 folder, I can find the 2 files here. And since I now have set a default folder connection to a case, then it makes archiving really simple. So I mark my 2 files and I press the archive to 360. Now you can see the difference here. I still get to choose if it should be a single document card or if it should be separate document cards. But what has changed here is that we have a selected case already. And if you want to change the case that is set on the folder, you have to make an active action to do so. So then you can change the case by clicking here, and then you will get up the same dialog. But having a folder connection to a case makes it a lot easier. So what we can also see now is that Thomas has worked very quickly, and he has both done the quality check and also changed the status to officially recorded. And what we can see here now in the UI is that we have received this lock right by the file title. And if I hover over this lock, I will see that the file is set to read only due to the document status is now set in officially recorded. It's also possible to view the document status here in the document status column. So nicely done, Thomas. What I will do now is that I am going to continue to work with a file that I have here, tasks and routines for the summer personnel. And I want to start by archiving it to 360 first so that I can establish the connection between 360 and this file in Teams. So I mark it here and I archive to 360. Since this is completely new, I don't have a case yet, so I will create a new case for this. So when I choose new case, I get to set a case title. It will as default take the file title, but it's possible to change that if you want. So I will call this Summer Personnel Work. It will set the access group, but you can change it here. And you can also set the document title just as before. So when I save it here, I have created both a new case and a document card. and the link is located here. So I can easily open it in 360 and go and see what it looks like. So when I open it up here, we see that we have the document card, we have our file, and we also have the connection to the case. We have set the document card category to internal. The status is set to reserved, and the responsible person is me, since I was the one who created this document card. Access code is unclassified and access group is public. And this is what we do through the default values that we use. So what I want to do now is that I want to edit this file from 360. So I click here and edit, and the file will soon open in Word. And now it has opened, and I can see that part of the tasks and routines for the summer personnel is to always remember it's important to make new coffee if you finish it, unless it's after 16 o'clock. But I will change this to 17. But before I check this in, I want to see what this looks like from the Teams view. So I go back to Teams here, now that we have the file checked out. And if I go to the Files tab, this has also been checked out in Teams, meaning that no other users can make changes to this document when I have this checked out. So it's set to read-only mode. I can now open here, and I have my edit done already, so I will check this back in. And now it has been checked in 360. The lock here is gone. And if I refresh the page here, I can also see that it has been checked in Teams. And if I open this file here, I can see that I now have my edit. But do you agree, Thomas, that there can be a deadline for when it's okay to have coffee? I'm not sure. So,
well, I have coffee after 5 p.m. at least, so yeah.
So no deadline, unless it's after midnight. Leave it like that. So what will happen now is that this new version of this file will sync over to Public 360. So I will go back to the Files tab. And now if I go to open document in 360, we're back to where we were. And if I view this now, I should be able to see the new version that has been created. Okay, I see it hasn't come through yet, but this can be that we have a job that runs on a, I think, 3-minute interval. So Thomas, we don't have time to wait, I think. So do you have the possibility to just run this job?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Perfect.
It's run now.
Awesome. Okay, I will just refresh the page once to be sure. And I will view the file. And we now have the new file synced over to 360. And with that said, that concludes this demo.
Thank you for a great demo, Lisa.
Thanks.